2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest event of the summer makes its triumphant return to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. SummerSlam is upon us. And this year's SummerSlam is going to be better than last year's SummerSlam. Because we are going to have not one, but two main events for championships. And those matches are going to reshape the future of Raw and SmackDown. And they're also going to redefine the careers of all four of the competitors vying for those two championships. I am so looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what happens and who walks out the WWE Champion and the new WWE Universal Champion. I still can't wait. I have my predictions. I'm sure you do too, my fans. Let's see if we're on the same page here. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to social media's #1 podcast show in America. This is We Love It Raw. And we're going to start this week's episode of We Love It Raw with the man who has a goal in his life. A goal that dates back to November of last year. And that is to be a champion again. And last week, Finn Balor comes out and he says his piece about Seth Rollins and how Finn plans and promises to walk out Universal Champion. So Seth comes out this week and issues a rebuttal statement to Finn and mentions how he's learning the new ways of this new era of the WWE.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new era here in WWE is upon us. It has been rolling along, and I must admit, it's been quite the learning experience. I mean, even I, the great Seth Rollins, have learned a thing or two. Case in point, my SummerSlam opponent, Finn Balor. Now, I followed Finn's career for a very long time, and I thought I knew all there was to know about Finn Balor. I mean, I was fairly certain he was a cheap, second-rate knockoff of me. I mean, essentially, the Jared Leto to my Heath Ledger, if you will. I speak the truth. I speak the truth. And I thought I knew everything there was to know about Finn Balor, but after what happened in this ring between he and I last week, I was forced to reevaluate my opinion of Finn Balor.
So right off the bat, Seth does a big comparison of Suicide Squad to Batman, Jared Leto to the Joker, Heath Ledger. Now you talk about a big comparison. Both are great actors. And both are great wrestlers here, Seth and Finn Balor. And for Seth to say that goes a long way to show how much he is looking forward to working with a star like Finn Balor. And I really do think Seth is going to be in for the match of his life. And he will express that, ladies and gentlemen, right about now.
So he's athletic, we knew that. He's agile, we knew that. He's a potent striker. I mean, any normal man who got kicked in the head like that might still be laying here on this mat. But as we all know, I am no normal man. I mean, if being simply the best was an Olympic sport, I would have more gold medals than Michael Phelps. That's a fact. But I don't want to talk too much about me tonight. Everyone in the entire world knows how good Seth Rollins is. I want to talk about Finn Balor. I want to get to know Finn Balor for starters. Did you guys know that Finn Balor isn't even his real name? No. He actually created his legacy under another name, and Finn Balor is some pieced together little, Irish mythology thing. Finn means famous warrior, and Balor means demon king.
So again, he's comparing himself to Michael Phelps, and he's comparing Finn Balor to Demon King? So you're basically saying, Seth Rollins, that you're the bigger man. You're the Michael Phelps of the WWE. And while Demon King is just an abnormality. I find it interesting about these comparisons here, because he's not getting to the point. He's not mentioning how good Finn Balor really is. I think Seth is scared to realize that Finn Balor could ultimately put him in his place. It's going to be interesting here, ladies and gentlemen. But by hearing those comments from Seth, he's scared. He's scared straight. He's scared shitless. He knows he's not going to be able to beat Finn Balor within the inch of his life. Now, I could be proven wrong. I could be right. We really don't know. We have to wait here to SummerSlam. Because I am looking to see if Seth Rollins can back it up. Or can Finn Balor back up his comments from last week. It's going to be interesting here, ladies and gentlemen. Both first time facing each other. First time on the new era of WWE Raw. Make no mistake, it's going to be a firework type of match. But that, ladies and gentlemen, was not the only big thing that occurred on Raw Monday night. No. We have a few more topics I would like to get into. Second, I want to indulge your minds and thoughts into the Sasha Banks story with Charlotte. Now, Sasha Banks, 3 weeks ago, realized her dream of being the WWE Women's Champion. A dream she's had since she was a little 10-year-old bank girl in Massachusetts. And she comes out in it last week, Schmidt with Enzo. They end up in a mixed tag match. They ended up losing, of course, but it's good to see that she was mixing and mingling with the male superstars. But fast forward to Monday, she walks into Mick Foley's office and she wants a stipulation added to the championship match at SummerSlam. And she wants it to be a one-on-one match. She feels that it's a disadvantage right now with Dana Brooke outside. So Foley agreed. Foley says, you're going to get that match. But if you want the stipulation added, you have to win a match tonight. And it has to be against Dana Brooke. So Sasha beats Dana. She gets the one-on-one match at SummerSlam. But if Dana wins, it's going to be a 2-on-1 handicap match. Still for the women's title. But it's a big disadvantage to Sasha. And a huge advantage to the challenger, Charlotte. So we have that match. And right off the bat, Sasha dominates. I mean, she conquers. She made it known that she can win, whether it's 2-on-1 or 1-on-1. And Sasha did end up winning the match, and it is now official that it is a 1-on-1 match for the WWE Women's title, ladies and gentlemen. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. Brooklyn, SummerSlam, title on the line. No Dana Brooke. So now the question is this. Can Charlotte overcome the disadvantage now on her side and recapture what she says is hers? A belt she claims was stolen from her. Only time is going to tell. 2 weeks, we're going to see that. 2 more. We're going to also now indulge your deep thought minds, ladies and gentlemen, into Rusev and Roman Reigns. Now, we all know Rusev and Lana got married for real. It wasn't a scripted wedding in the WWE like we've seen in the past. No. This was a real wedding in Malibu. Beautiful. Seeing the pictures, seeing the video. Absolutely gorgeous. So congratulations to Rusev and CJ Catherine Joy Perry is Lana's real name. So in case a lot of you didn't know that. But congratulations to them. I wish you all the best in a hopeful, successful marriage. Put that aside now. Let's get back to what's at stake here. The United States Championship. And it was known last week that Roman Reigns wants to put an end to the big mouth Bulgarian brute. But we're starting to see a trend here with Roman Reigns. Ever since the suspension, he hasn't gotten a chance at the Universal Championship yet. They're pushing him back a little bit, putting him for a secondary title, which is the United States title, and that's a good thing. Work up the trust of the company again, and then get your mix into a title match for the big belt. So kudos to WWE for doing that. So now Rusev continues to berate America, as he always does, and Roman continues to make his presence known with the punch and the spear. Now, no history between these two, but after the last week and Monday, there's bound to be a whole lot of history after that. Now, the only question is going to be this. Is Roman Reigns going to capture the United States Championship, a belt he has never held in his career in WWE? Or is Rusev going to continue to succeed at being a fantastic two-time United States champion? In my opinion, if it's mattering to you, Roman Reigns will win that match. But it will not be by a pinfall. He will win it, I have a feeling, by disqualification. He will not capture the U.S. title, but he will win the match. So let's see. Yeah, it's going to be... We're shaping up for something really big here, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so... and lastly, I want to just quickly indulge into something that I knew was in the making here. After the incident last week between Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar, what were the repercussions going to be? So we saw what happened when Orton invaded Raw. We saw the repercussions when Lesnar invaded SmackDown. So Mick Foley laid it out on Twitter and said to Daniel Bryan, let's put the animosity aside and let's come to an agreement and see what we can work out with this whole situation before it really escalates out of control. So Daniel Bryan appears on Monday Night Raw. He's poised, he's calm, he's collected, as anybody would be. He was like that when he was wrestling. So Foley and Bryan are in the ring, and they're talking. They're trying to come up with a situation. But unfortunately, they never did. Because they were interrupted. Now you're probably thinking, who would interrupt the town hall between two general managers who have the utmost respect for each other? Who? It was Cesaro and it was Rusev. Now we have the Roman Reigns match against Rusev, and it is for the United States title. But we have a U.S. title match to conclude Monday Night Raw. So Rusev and Cesaro are making cases to the general manager Mick Foley and to a little bit of Daniel Bryan. And we both said to them, look, let's give you, the fans, something to really end the night with. And after the cases were made, Bryan and Foley came up with a joint decision, and it was a pretty good one. We ended the night on Monday night with a United States Championship match. Now, this is where it gets really interesting here, folks. Okay? Here's where it got really interesting. With this match now being made on Raw, what would the implication be if Cesaro won the United States title heading into SummerSlam in 2 weeks? Would we have a Roman Reigns Cesaro match for the United States title? So that was interesting by both general managers. Put this match to end Raw and see what can happen. Try to shake things up for SummerSlam. So kudos to that. So we had the match, and it was physical. It was immense. It was great. But the match is still on. Rusev ended up winning the match, retaining the U.S. title, but ended up getting a Superman punch and a spear to close out the show. So there you have it. It is set. It is final. The match is good. We have nothing to worry about. But it would have been interesting, ladies and gentlemen, to see what would have happened if Cesaro would have won the United States title for a second time in his career. Because it's been a long time since he's held that U.S. belt. So we do not have to worry about that, but it would have been interesting to see. I was hoping I would have seen it. I would have loved to see it. Shake things up. So, we have that set. A couple of side matches here. Enzo and Cass faced off against Jericho and Owens. Enzo and Cass ended up losing. Okay. Cesaro, as I mentioned, went against Sheamus. Before the match with Rusev, Cesaro would end up winning, poisoning himself up for Rusev, so there you go. And Darren Young versus Titus O'Neil. Darren Young would get some retaliation and end up winning the match. And that was about it. Braun Strowman for a local job or so, you know. Those are the side matches that I wanted to get into here, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to end it right there. I hope you enjoyed it, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who has helped make We Love It Raw the #1 show for 2 weeks straight. Now, make no mistake about it. I have been listening to the SmackDown Motel podcast run by Mr. Caldero, and he has done a fantastic job. He's really putting the emphasis into the show, and I wish him all the best. You know, this is not a competition. This is a brand split show here, and there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. So I wish him all the best of luck, and I wish that show, that podcast, all the best. Alright? Make no mistake. It's fantastic to hear. He really does a great job. I came up also with an idea last week, and I mentioned it to him, and he's on board with it, ladies and gentlemen. In 2 weeks, we are going to have a super show. Now, this super show is going to be conducted sometime after SummerSlam, either Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's going to consist of 3 shows, or 4 shows. It's going to consist of an NXT review, SummerSlam review, Raw, and SmackDown reviews. So this is going to be a big show, ladies and gentlemen. So be prepared for a monstrous super show run by both myself and Mr. Caldero. It's going to be interesting. So be on the lookout for that. And that's it. Alright, again, I want to thank everybody who's helped make this show good for 2 weeks straight. Let's continue that momentum. Show love for both shows, myself and Mr. Caldero. You know, not just mine, but show love for both shows. So, we're going to end it on that note, ladies and gentlemen, and I look forward to next week, where we get you ready and set and poised for SummerSlam in Brooklyn. So what I'm going to do next week, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to focus on my attention on a SummerSlam review. While giving you a Raw review, I'm going to focus on SummerSlam. So look out for that. And I mentioned this super show, look out for that as well. I will see you all next week, ladies and gentlemen. This is the future Chris Coury, saying to always keep it real and always keep it raw. Until next week, see you later.